Hey guys, I'm Ruth, and today I will show you how to cut and sew this beautiful Ankara basket skirt. So first of all, you need to fold your fabric into 4 with your hip measurement. Then you mark out your starting point like this. The next thing you do is to bring out your waistband because there will be waistband on this skirt. Then the next thing I did was to mark my hip point, then the length of my skirt. So I'm using 18, then I added 0.5 for me to join to the basket side of this skirt. So after doing that, the next thing I will do is I've divided my waist into 4, my hip into 4. So I've connected it the way you're seeing me do. I went ahead to cut out my front pattern. So you'll notice that I placed the front on top of the back of the skirt because I noticed that the fabric I folded wasn't enough for my hip measurement. So that's why I seeing it like this. So the next thing I did was to mark out my on the zip line. I removed 0.75 on the waistline and on the knee line. This was to give me a perfect fitting on the back area because I don't like my skirts being straight at the back side. So I went ahead to connect all the lines together. Then the next thing you see me do here was to replace the 0.75 that I removed from the zip allowance to the other side of the measurement. Then I added my dart at the back. So mind you, I didn't cut with dart at the front side. The next thing I did here was to replace what I took from the back side of the skirt. Then I connected it back the way you're seeing me do. After this, I went ahead to cut out the down part of this skirt. So I used my pattern paper to fold the remaining part of the skirt. Then after doing that, I now used my masking tape to join it together. Then I went ahead to create a box the way you're seeing me do. So you can create the box depending on how open you want your basket to be. The next thing I went ahead to do was to cut out my fabric. So I used 2 inches here. So after sewing all my rope, I went ahead to follow all the lines that I marked out. So you gently sew all the rope on top of this line, the way you're seeing me do. Now, please, you will not need force for you to make this basket. If not, you might end up tearing the paper. So you need to sew it gently, the way you're seeing me do. Don't over drag it, and make sure you're sewing on the lines that you marked out. Now, the next thing I did was to sew on top of the first line that I've already sewn. So this is what it looks like after I've done sewing on top of the first line. I went ahead to cut another 2 inches. I'll be using this to hem the side and the down part of our basket. So before you do, you make sure you place it correctly. So you can also use iron to iron this so that it give you a perfect line because you're not going to turn it again to sew. If you watched our video to this point, that means you find this tutorial helpful. Do well to subscribe, like, and make sure you're not learning alone. Share to your friends. As you're sewing, do well to stitch at the beginning and at the end of your stitch so it won't pull off. So before piping the side of your basket, you make sure you fold the edge like so. This way you'll be able to finish it properly so it looks neat. Towards the end, you also do the same thing. You fold the edge before sewing. So here I noticed it was longer, then I had to reduce it. So this is what our basket looks like after sewing. So the next thing we'll do, the next thing is for you to, the skirt you've already sewn, you'll now arrange it for you to join the down part to the upper part. So before you do that, you make sure you find the center of the down part and the midpoint of the upper part. Then I bring it together. Then you can use pin to do this to secure it so that it looks straight. The next thing is for you to go and sew in your sewing machine. So this is what it looks like after sewing. So you need to secure it pin in order for the two sides to be equal. So the part you are seeing me holding, that has the zip allowance. So the next thing I did was to go ahead and mark out my zip allowance. Then I'll sew from where the zip will stop to the ending. So the next thing I did here was to fix my zip. Then after sewing, this is what it looks like. So the next thing for you to do is for you to start removing your paper after sewing. So you make sure you confirm that everything, your measurements are okay before you start removing the paper. So while removing your paper, you don't need to do it too fast or drag it too much, so you don't end up losing what you've sewn. So here is our final result of our Ankara basket skirt.